next hide reveal is really fairly simple to implement, but there's just a few key things that you can't remember to make sure it works. You'll notice that I have a table cell and a question, and students can click and drag the answer that they've chosen to the cell, and they get feedback. So you'll see that it says try again. Now, one thing I want you to note is that you may think if you pull anything up there, it's going to do that, but notice in this 3, you can't see the feedback, and that's one of the things you have to be careful about when you make your own. So let's go to a blank page and start with our first step. So we'll write the question and say, which of these are vowels? So maybe a question you might have in the first or second grade when you're trying to teach consonants and vowels. You then are going to place a just one cell table underneath your question. And you can resize it so you know that for sure that your feedback and your answers will fit. I'm going to go ahead now and go to properties and make my background a different color. So my table shade, or sorry, my table cell can actually pop. The next thing you have to do is create some rectangular boxes. This is what your students are going to actually use to click and drag into the cell. I'm going to change the color of these. Again, I want to make sure it's a nice bright color so students see a delineation between the cell and the items that they're going to go ahead and click and drag. Because I don't want to have to make a lot of these individually, I'm going to infinite clone this one and just click and drag some choices out. I can then right click and take that infinite clone off. Okay, so a few simple steps to get us started. If you double click on your shape, you can write your answer choice and then your feedback. So this is a vowel, so I'll put the word great. And then I'm going to go ahead and resize it so all you see is the A. Now again, remember what happened. If I pull this in like this, I can't see feedback. You have to group this with something else in order for this square or rectangular shape to open up. If you don't want anything to be seen, you can do something as simple as taking your pen, drawing a line or mark, and then highlighting that so it's selected, making it transparent so you can't see it. If you group it together and then click and drag it in, it'll actually show you the feedback. This is an interesting property of cells within a table. Now, you don't have to group something that isn't going to be anything that's necessary. So let's go ahead and go to my second one. And I'm going to go ahead and do B and write the word sorry. And again, I need to resize this so it fits all you see is the letter B. And I can make it smaller like this, especially if you're going to have a lot of letters, you might have that be much smaller. But now I'm going to go to my gallery and pick a picture that starts with the letter B because maybe I want my students who have difficulty to actually be able to do this. So I'm going to try to find a baby that actually looks like a baby, and there really aren't too many. So let me go to this one here. It's a little strange looking, but that'll work. So there's my baby. And I'm going to go ahead and group these two together. And so now my students have a visual clue that this is a word that starts with B. There's my B. Click and drag. You notice that that automatically gives you the feedback. So really cool method of doing things. If you notice that now this is here, I have to hit the undo button. If you want to be able to have these options stay, all you have to do is infinitely clone them. So I'm going to go here to my B, infinitely clone it. Now a student can click and drag B in, and you notice that my original B stays here, so I don't have to worry about doing anything. And again, if you just drag the next one, it overrides that. Simple, easy, hide reveal. Check it out. Think you'll love it.